So. Checkliste. Roof and panelize as required. Hammer, emergency lights. Arm. Bodies and standby propellers are off. Wing anti-icing is off. Fuel forward transport switch. Is off, and after trim switch is to normal. Transponder is standby. Nose and visor standby control off and guard. Down landing gear normal lever is down, gear override is guard. Visor nose lever as configuration. And ram air turbine switches are off and guard. Aircraft fuel and aircraft load is checked. Ground power is requested. And ground power switch is closed. Rear extract fans are on. Auto throttle and autopilot master warnings are cancelled. Hey Don, how are you? And hi Isabella, thank you for the hosting. If you can hear me, maybe. So, air conditioning. Crossbleed valves open and conditioning valves on. Some light to the panel here. Very nice. Air data computers. Onshore temperature check should be around 30 degrees, 31. It's good. Drain master heaters off. Transponder transparency de-ice and demast is off. That's correct. And INS 1, 2, and 3 to standby. Feed the present position. So here we go. North 32.54.0 and west is 97.02.2. 2.54.0. West is 97.02.2. And for the third time, 32.54.0. West Hey, why it's on east? Damn thing. So that's -3, I have to do this again. Should be off now, it's off, yeah. So again. 32.5, 4.0, insert west, here we go. 97.02.2. So and cross check 32540, 32540, 32540, 97022, 7022, 7022. INS systems inserted and cross-checked. So set them to align. And now I want to feed the Sid from Dallas. So that is waypoint Michel. It's I might have to zoom in here. Yeah, here we go. So our first waypoint is north. 3301, 3301 west, 9659.9, 9659.9. Our second waypoint is MEVS. It's 33007. And west is 96539. 96539. Our third waypoint is ovals. It's north. 32576. 32576 west. 96473, 96473. Our fourth waypoint is Skitter. It's 3245 32454, 32454, yep. And west is 96475, 96475. The next waypoint is Ardea. It's north 32171, 32171 west 96563, 96563. And our last waypoint is Elver. It's holy cow. 2, 3, I forgot. Wait. 3300. Oh damn. Okay. Well, I forgot to set the waypoints. Okay, go. North 32576 west, 96473, 96473. So, waypoint 4 is north, 32454, 32454, insert west 96475, 96475. Waypoint 5 is RDR, is 3217 271 west 96563, 96563. And our last waypoint is Elveru. Now we go. It's our 6th waypoint. It's 31425. 31425. West is 96503. 96503. There we go. So that are our first waypoints. So we inserted them in the navigation system. That are waypoints from our sit, which we have to fly today. So that's okay now. And a transponder TCAS system check. And now we have to
TCAS system test OK.
Set our zero fuel weight. So our zero fuel weight today is oops, a daisy. Our zero fuel weight is 90 tons, 90.18. 91, and zero fuel CG is 52.23. 52.23. Live ATC, welcome on board. Aircraft weight in digital. Nine 0 1 8. And fuel 3679. So 3679. We have an aircraft weight from 126.97. That's correct. So we said that. Now tank 9 main pumps left. No, tank 9 main inlet valves, override valves to off, inlet valves to auto, tank 9 pumps left right to auto, 10 left right to auto. 90 air is off, 5A, 7A pumps are off, standby inlet valves are off, jettison fuel bay is shut and secure, trim pipe drain is shut, 5A, 5, 7A, 7 transfer valves are shut, 5 pump left right hand, 7 pump left right hand, off 5 and 6 inlet valve shut, override auto, 7 and 8 inlet valve shut, override to auto, interconnect 6, 7 and 5, 8 shut. Tank 6 and 8 pumps left and right hand off, tank 11 main inlet valve auto, override to off, hydraulic pumps tank 11 green and blue to auto, tank 11 main pumps to auto, DR is off, and main engine feed tanks to on. So that was the preliminary cockpit checklist is completed. Before start checklist, cockpit windows closed, flight control inverters on, PFC master warning off and anti-stall system on. Radar INS switches, we put them to INS. We have inserted our SID into the INS, so we can set them to INS. Navigation radios are set, initial altitude is set to 20 feet, QNH altimeters are set, put debugs to 20 feet and to 520, so it makes it a bit easier at the start to overview. Transponder to XPDR, brakes park check, navigation lights on, roof lights can switch off and main panel lights can switch off too. It's getting a bit lighter outside. So throttle masters to main. Round hydraulic checkout is yellow, yellow, off, off, that's correct. Fuel heaters auto. Engine recirculation valve shut and secondary air doors to auto. Batteries on. ASI box, pitch index and reheat placard. So we have today, we go V1 is 132, V rotate is 139, V2 is 176, and V2 plus 40 is 216. Pitch index should be approx 18 degrees exactly, and reheat placard is 4, that's correct. Primary engine instruments now. You need to set the fuel flow bugs. It's 19.5 for engines 1 to engine 3 and 19.1 for engine number 4, and the P7 bugs is 37.3 for engines 1 to engine 3. For engine number 4, it's 36.7. Okay, here we go. The clock. We need the clock as well today. We have to run the afterburners 41 seconds. And TLA is 92.3. So I have to reduce the throttles after 41 seconds to 92.3. So, seatbelt signs on. We close the doors and we remove the passenger bridge here on the left. All INS systems are aligned, so we can set them to navigation. So we have this door lights check, master warning, recall, artificial fuel, PFC stabilization, MCG, engine 1.4, internal 1.4, hydraulic and electric are on. That's correct for the moment. You have the flight deck door to lock. Throttles are idle, clearance, ground crew call. A pushback checklist. Conditioning valves off, crossbleed valves off. Engine 1, 4, 2, 3 idle switches to high. There are generator switches to on. And we have to set our debow switches and set the timer to on and start up engine number 3, sorry. First inboard engines. Here we go. High pressure valve open. And engine number 2. Master warning cancel. Hydraulics on. And check, PSC master warning cancelled. Thibaut, hi, welcome on board. My next try to flying to Mexico. So, inboard engines are started. Now we can proceed the pushback. We have to push with the nose to the left. So take a short look on the airport map here. So pushback facing to east, and we have to go to taxiway Echo Kilo and then right to Lima. Okay, so parking brake release, pushback north to the east, and now we make a crossbleed start for engines 1 and 4. So open the bleed valves, open the crossbleed valves, and start engine number 4. FS pilot, welcome on board. High pressure valve. And engine number 1. Pushback completed, parking brake set. Waiting for engine number 1, it's running stable. Fire handle is lighting up, that's good. Here it comes. Engine 1 stable. So proceed in our checklist. Shutting down the crossbleed valves, opening the conditioning valves again. Pushback checklist complete after start checklist. First thing at the nose wheel steering, checked. Electric trim 2-1 on. Checking green hydraulic system, full up, full down, full left, full right, rudder left, rudder right. Same with the blue. Full up, full down, left, full right, rudder left, rudder right. Checked. AFCS checked. Auto stabilization number 1, number 2, artificial fuel number 1, number 2 to on. Engine anti-ice not required, brake fans on, timer reset, 6 minutes after startup, that's okay. Door warnings, short check again, tested and off. Hydraulics checked, electric AC check, electric DC checked, and ground bypass is set. Engine 1, 2, 3, 4 idle switch is too low. Engine number 4 limiter to 88 for takeoff, and engine schedule is checked. Tank 11 load limit is for today. Where are we? We are. There we are. 3,785 kilos. So 3,780. 3780, here we are, after trim switch to after. Now we want to taxi, so we have to lower the nose and the visor down to 5 degrees, taxi, turn lights on, parking brake release. Here we go. So, short brakes checked. Flight instruments checked. No flags. Flight controls check. Lights off. Anti-skid, anti-tire lights are off. Trims. Set. Throttle master. Auto throttle on. Auto ignition on. Throttle master's back. FS pilots, thank you for your follow. So, taxiway Lima should be... yep, this is Lima. We have to go to the right and roll to the end of the runway. So it's a long taxi roll today, so we can do our checklist. Nice and slow. So drain master heaters to on, RDS preservation static heaters on, RDS and standby probe heaters to T inhib and on. So air intakes, ramp spill master switches to auto, hydraulic switches to auto, and lane switches to lane A, and we have to take a short look on the reverser. We have to check the buckets. They are moving, that's correct. Next thing we have to look at is our CG shortly. Yep, engine overweight is not required today, so we have to take our fuel panel. CG is at 53, that's perfect, so we can set the tank 11 load limit to 10,500 kilos. So we have to pump the fuel to the back of the aircraft while we climb to 60,000 feet and accelerate to Mach 2. So, next thing is the low pressure protection is armed. Tank 5 and 6, 7 and 8, inlet valves to auto. Engine feed pumps, all on. Five and 7 to on. 10 and 11 D air on. 6 and 8 right hand to off, left hand to off there. 5A and 7A left and right to on. So that's all the fuel panel. The next thing we have to do is set the PFDIS for the cabin. So we have to fly today 889 nautical miles. That's not so much. Holy cow. Eight, 9. So here we are at our holding point. Our checklist is completed. Taxi checklist complete. Before start checklist, landing lights on. Transponder is set. Wheel overheat lights are off. Master warning. Recall nothing inhibit. Airline Tycoon, welcome aboard. Takeoff monitor is armed. Runway is clear, so we can release the parking brakes again and lining up the runway. Runway lineup, parking brakes is set, short checklist here, reheats on, engine 1-4, idle switches to high. We have to hurry up a little bit. Nozzle override lights were checked, pitch index checked, trim checked, flight directors checked, brake fence, off brake fence overload MI is black. And here we go, and 3, 2, 1, now.
Airspeed building. 100 knots. Power set. V1. Rotate. V2. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Three, two, one. Noise.
Afterburners off and to 292. After start checklist, landing gear normal, lever to normal. Master warning, recall landing lights off and engine rating mode to flight. Ape Man, welcome aboard. So I'm now hand flying the SID and then switching to the switching on the autopilot. I arrived at the perfect time. Yes, that's correct. Just took off from Dallas Airport on 35 left and flying now the SID. 3,000 feet and 2 to 93%.
Altitude alert, 1,000 to go.
So we have to proceed a few right turns now. 5,000 feet and 2 to 97. Six thousand feet and 2 to 99. Now I have to increase the angle of attack to hold 250 knots. 7,000 feet and 2 to 101. Eight 8,000 feet full thrust. Here comes another steep right turn. Flying will take us directly over Dallas. "10,000 feet, nose and wide up." Will also reduce the noise level a bit. And from now on I can push down the nose a little bit to increase the speed to 390 knots. And at 26,000 feet we will settle down and stop our climb. Until we reach the open sea, and then we can accelerate to Mach 1 and over. So the last light right turn. And the last turn we have to make is a short left. So what happens now is I have to move the fuel back in the airplane. So I have to move the CG to the back and increase the angle of attack to hold 390 knots. And then we can activate the autopilot. I'll try to slow down a bit. Here we go. Setting 26,000 feet. Switching the autopilot on. RDS and standby probe heaters to on, and the first thing I like to do is set the engine rating to normal, and the second thing we need to do is
Altitude alert, 1000 to go.
just set the altimeter. So the aircraft settled down to 26,000 feet. I have to watch out that we fly Mach 095. That's the most economic thing for Concorde in this height, so I have to increase the speed a bit. I think it should be approx 390 knots. So give a bit thrust here. And that's a short CG master warning. That will be okay. Yeah, fuel is moving back, that's okay. So once we reach Mach 095, I engage Mach hold at the auto throttle and the airplane will hold the speed. Here we go. So, seatbelt signs can shut off. Taxi turn lights are off. And now I have to watch the CG carefully. We need a CG from 55 for the subsonic lag. So we are at 55.1, that's perfect. We can switch off the pumps from tank 5 and 7. And here we are. So we are near at the end of our sit now. I have to insert the first 7 navigation points from our flight path. So I go to heading hold and remote these 3 INS systems we have on board and load the first 7 waypoints. And then I have to figure out between which waypoints we are. I think 0, 1. Yep. And we can switch back to the INS, and the airplane will make a light left turn and bring us on our flight path. So, if someone is interested in my flight route or the actual aircraft position, please click on the link in the chat. Thank you, Ape Man. Thank you very much. So from now on we have subsonic leg. It will be approx 200. Sorry, it will be approx 320 nautical miles. We have to fly subsonic because we are over land now, and the Concorde was not allowed to fly supersonic over land. So we have to wait until we are over the ocean. And then we give full thrust and activate the afterburners that go through Mach 1. Ape Man, thank you for your follow, thank you very much. So just take a short look over my instruments and overwatch if everything is set correctly. So I think tank 11 has to be to off. Have you flown before in real life? No. I have... Oh, and this add-on, it's insane how detailed it's hard to fly. Link to my Dropbox with some aviation training material you might like. Oh yes, thank you! Oh, I would be happy about that, thank you very much. Oh, it's not that hard to fly. The checklists are very long, and that makes it hard to fly. I think Concorde it's a very nice airplane to fly, so I got no problems flying it. But as I said, the checklists are very complicated and it's very detailed. But it's fun, absolutely fun to fly, and it never gets boring, so it keeps you busy. So, so this is our flight route. Our acceleration point for the supersonic flight is 220 nautical miles before Argus at between waypoint 9 and waypoint 1 in the next loading, in the next 7 waypoints we have. So short after waypoint 9 we can accelerate, hopefully. Will be a very steep climb. I think the airplane is very light at the moment. Will be very much lighter when we are at waypoint 9, so will be a very steep climb. So in a few seconds we will turn... oh no, in a few minutes I think we will turn to the left. We proceed our flight route. The left turn ring will bring us directly over Houston. So we make a left and then a right turn, it brings us over Houston, and shortly we pass Houston we go over the sea and can accelerate. So we have to watch the CG again. The 5.1, that's okay. Airplane is nearly... That's perfect. So here comes the left turn. Switch to remote, switches off from the INS systems. So we are between waypoint 6 and waypoint 7. It's time for me to insert the next navigation waypoints. If I would forget it, we would fly back to the airport. So better not forget this. But so that is done. We are still on our flight routes, that's perfect. I think we will nearly reach the 60,000 feet today. So at the moment the aircraft weight is 116 tons. That's not very much. I will get it this time. I don't have sound on my computer, so I can't listen to you, but I wish you a nice flight and landing. Check your video once I get it home, thanks. So here we go, on with our right turn to go over Houston, and in a few minutes we will reach the open sea. So when we reach the acceleration point, we will give full thrust at first to the 4 engines, and trying to hold 390 knots. Once the aircraft is settled at its pitch, we we activate pitch hold on the autopilot, and we will engage the afterburners, first for the inner engines 2 and 3, and then for the outer engines 1 and 4. Once we activated the afterburners, the thrust will increase, and I have to pitch the aircraft up a little bit to hold 400 knots. When reach Mach 0.97, the air drag will increase, and I have to pitch down to hold 400 knots, and then we will go through Mach 1. Once we reach Mach 1.03, I can engage the max climb mode in the autopilot, and the aircraft will climb at the maximum possible angle of attack to accelerate to Mach 2.02. At Mach 1.7 we can disengage the afterburners, and the airplane will accelerate without the afterburners. Maybe a bit earlier we will climb very fast, so maybe I disengage the afterburners at Mach 1.5. We will see. So this will happen in approx 5 minutes, I think. Let's say 7 to 8 minutes. So take a short look at the CG and at the main engine feed tanks. They're nearly empty. The CG is 55.0. That's okay. Can leave this for the moment. So we just passed Houston, and the next thing is we passing the coastline, and then we will accelerate. So in Mexico we will land on runway 23 left. So to take a short view which star we have to take there. Kaisa, welcome on board to our flight to Mexico. Yeah, here we are. We have to overfly the VOR 116.6. So let it in. And fly with a heading from 140 degrees. Yep. 140 degrees. So we set that. So we have 28 nautical miles left till we reach our acceleration point. As you can see, here's the coastline. We have to be 20 nautical miles out of the coastline for the acceleration. What I do now is to set the after trim switch to after, because we're getting low fuel on the main engine feed tanks. In the outer ones, 1 and 4, we have only 1 ton of fuel left. So we have to fill them a bit. And that's what we're doing now. Ten nautical miles left. I begin with the preparation for the supersonic climb. So I set the autopilot to 60,000 feet. Next thing I want to do is set IAS hold and Alt ACQ, which I do now, and at 220 nautical miles before waypoint 1 I give full thrust. It's exactly now, and the aircraft will pitch up by itself, short over speed. Should be over in a few seconds. That's okay. And then I set to pitch hold, pitching the aircraft up a bit, and when the airspeed reaches 390 knots, which is in a few seconds, I engage the reheats. Exactly. Now, the inner ones waiting for stabilization, and then the outer ones. And now the aircraft will accelerate to 400 knots, nearly. And just now we will pass Mach 1. That's it. That's a pressure wave circling down the aircraft. I saw CG master warnings, that's okay for here. And now I try to hold 400 knots. Until we reach Mach 1.03, we have that, and engaged max climb. Next thing I want to do is to shut down the preservation static heaters. We don't need them anymore because the airframe will heat up from now to 127 degrees. DB Feta, welcome on board. Nice to see you. At Mach 1.3, the air intakes should clothing so we view that. Hope that happens. Now here we go. That's correct. Tank 10 pumps to off. So we are at Mach 1.6. I cut down the afterburners now because we're climbing very fast. Well, it works, it's okay. 4,000 feet per minute, that's good. I should have to watch the CG movement, it's far way to the back, but I can't do anything about that for now. Oh well, it's okay, we have to disengage the fuel pumps from tank 9. So I'll leave the after trim switch by its own now. We are at Mach 1.7, so we can cut off the reheats now. And the airplane will accelerate by its own to Mach 2.02. So tank 10D air can switch to off. Main engine feed tanks are filling up slowly, that's correct, that's good. So here we are about 1.91, our CG is at 59.2, that's nearly perfect. A little bit low fuel on main engine feed tank 4, that will be... yeah, that will be over in a few minutes. So I can leave that alone. That's okay for the moment. So we nearly reaching 50,000 feet, so I can switch on the engine flight rating to climb. We're at Mach 1.95, that's really perfect. And we have minus 70 degrees. That's very good. It's a nice temperature for Concorde to fly. So the special thing of the airport in Mexico is very high. It's just 200 feet below Concorde's maximum landing and takeoff height for airports. So I have to watch carefully the pressure and have to look at our landing speed. So the ILS for runway 23 left is 109.7, so I can insert that as well, and you have to fly 233. Oh, thank you, Apeman. Thank you very much. I copy the link for now, and definitely will be take a look after I land it. Yeah, thank you very much. So, what we can do about the low fuel level in tank 4, we can open the crossfeed valves and shut down the main engine pumps from tank 4. So engine 4 is feeded up now from tank 3. That's good until tank 4 reaches a normal level. The problem at the moment is the low fuel level of the aircraft. At this moment of flight. So I have to take a short look at our descent point. Yeah, I did. The problem in I don't know if you know the Concorde exactly. The problem about Concorde is I have to move the CG at supersonic speeds way to the back of the airplane. Normally you do that when the tanks 6 and 8 and 5 and 7 are completely full. So at the moment they are empty. So I'm so near my deceleration point now that I have to empty out the tank 5A and 7A, but the pumps are very slow, so I can't fill up the tank 4 and tank 2. So that's a problem at the moment. The short is too short normally for Concorde fly, so I have to handle that out. It's okay. At the end of our supersonic climb, and when we reach our deceleration and descent point, we have to empty out tank 11 to bring the CG back to the front to 52.5 approx. So in tank 11 are another 10,500 kilos of fuel, and that will give us enough space to land and in the bad case to do some circles around the airport there. Join Bast, welcome on board to our flight to Mexico. So I have reserve fuel, yes. I think approx 7 or 8 tons. So I plan to land with 12.2 tons left. So what do I have to do now is to plan the descent. We have to fly subsonic speed at waypoint Cedra. exactly at waypoint C, right? It's waypoint 3. So we have to fly from 2 to 355. We have to settle down on 36,000 feet. So we are at 54,000 feet. I think we will climb to 55 or 56,000. It's would take us 194 nautical miles to descend to 1,000 feet, but we want to settle down at 36,000 feet. So minus 77,000 feet are 117 nautical miles. And from waypoint 2 to waypoint 3 it's 55 minus 117, 62. Yeah, so we overshoot it approx 30 nautical miles, but we are way lower than I planned, so at this moment we can set alt hold. We reach our deceleration point and bring the engines back to 94 and 2, and that will slow us down. And now is the moment where I bring the fuel from tank 11 to the front of the airplane. So from now on the main engine feed tanks will fill up again. And I have to bring 1 ton of fuel into tank 9 to get the right CG for the landing. And I have to switch off the tank 7A pumps because tank 7A is empty and tank 5A will be empty out soon too. At 360 knots I'm beginning with my descent. So we don't need the list anymore. Go, and tank 5A is empty, so we can shut the trim pipe drain. And we engage the main engine feed pumps. Wait a few seconds until they begin to work. And switch the cross feed valves back. And in a few seconds the fuel will flow from tank 11 into tank 5 and 7. This will happen when tank 11 reaches 1 ton. So here we are at 360 knots. I begin my descent now. And when we reach 350 knots I engage IAS hold and Alt ACQ, and the airplane will pitch down, so we hold the 350 knots. Approx. So at Mach 1.5 I reduce the throttles to N277. And then we have another approx 4 minutes I think to bring the speed down to under Mach 1. So here we go, Mach 1.5, bringing the throttles to 77%. Slowly. Here we go. The airplane is slowing down. And now we are sinking much faster than before. We're descending very much faster. We are descending with 4,500 feet per minute at the moment. And there on the right side we can see the coastline.
Altitude alert, 1000 to go.
So from now on we have to wait until the airplane reaches Mach 095 and then we engage the auto throttle again. Here we are through Mach 1 now. And here we are at Mach 095, we engage Mach hold and the aircraft will settle down at 36,000 feet at Mach 095, that's perfect. Mach 1 checklist throttle master to alternate windshield, anti-ice and demist on. And we have to watch the CG, we have to bring it to 55 again. So it's nearly at 55, yep. So 55.1. We stop the after trim switch, the forward trim procedure, and we shut down tank 7 pumps and tank 5 pumps. From now on we have to watch the fuel. We open the crossfeed valves on the left side and stop the engine feed tanks from engine 2, so that we can bring the fuel level in tank 1 and tank 2 the same level now. So again we have to overfly the VOR Santa Lucia. It's 116.6 at 12,000 feet. So we can set the 12,000. And we have to fly to 140 degrees. We set that as well. And then we have to, the landing direction is 233. You can set this in the VOR now. So I only need to set the ILS DME frequency. So we have the VOR. From now on it's 128 nautical miles left. So I'm settled down to 36,000 feet. I have to be at 12,000 feet. 23 minus 77. 54 nautical miles before we reach the VOR. I have to sorry, I have to start my descent. So 54 before VOR. So the fuel level is in tank 1 and 2 is nearly the same now. I reactivate the engine feed pumps and close the crossfeed valves. Engine flight rating has to be set to climb. So what I do now is take a short look at the destination weather. Hope nothing has changed. 360, wind of 360, that's good. At 3 knots, visibility is 7. It's 9,000 feet, temperature is 3 degrees. Looks good. So there are a few clouds in front of us, it will be okay. And as I said, in 40 nautical miles in prox 3, 4 minutes, we will make our further descent. Derry Bay and Shani, welcome on board to our flight to Mexico. We will land in approx 20 minutes. So what I'm doing now is I lock the VOR. So I will fly to the Santa Lucia VOR from now on to get on the right star for the approach. So now I'm 54 nautical miles away from the VRR. And I set Alt ACQ, IAS hold, and idle the throttles. And bring the aircraft down to 12,000 feet. Once we've passed the VOR, I set in the ILS frequency 109.7 and the 233 for the runway direction, and then we will align on the ILS. Hopefully. So we have a few clouds here, that's okay. Transfer switch to forward again. So when we reach 20,000 feet, I will go on with the approach checklist. So it's a bit bumpy, so I engage the seatbelt signs. So, taxi turn lights on, radar and S switches, I put them both to radar. Seatbelt signs are on, engine control to approach, oops, and engine flight rating to takeoff. Engine recirculation valves are shut and secondary air doors are auto. So it's correct. Brake fans should be off. Crossfeed valves should be shut. And the SSB to open. And battery split switches to ESS main for the landing. Fuel weight CG is checked. Moving forward. Tank level is not emptied out. We are at 17,000 feet. 50 nautical miles left to the VOR. That's okay. What I do now is try to slow the aircraft down a bit. So we engage pitch hold and engage the in-flight reverser, so Concorde can, as an in-flight reverser, can engage the reversers from engine 2 and 3 from the inboard engines. So we are able to slow down a bit.
Altitude alert, 1000 to go.
So I lower the visor to 5 degrees for the landing. Put the autopilot to alt hold until we reach 210 knots, and then I engage a auto throttle again. To hold 210 knots from now. And I engage land. So what I do have to do now is to set the fuel panel for the landing. So I did that, and I have to watch my actual aircraft weight. It's 100 tons. So landing speed is 154.
Radio altimeters are active.
I slow down to 190 knots. Landing lights on.
Bank angle.
Sadly, I overshoot the ILS a little bit. Oh, damn.
feet radio. $800 feet. $500 feet.
Stable.
400 feet. 300 feet. 200 feet.
Continue.
100 to go.
100 feet. 50. 40. 30. 20. 15.
Decide.
Moin, Timo.
100 knots. 75 knots. 50. 40. 20 knots.
Ja, das war tatsächlich spannend. Zum einen habe ich den ILS überschossen. Und zum anderen hat er, warum auch immer, irgendwie die Angabe zum Fahrwerk ausfahren nicht angenommen. Nur ja, gut. Ich weiß die Landing Rate jetzt gerade gar nicht. Aber ich glaube, es hielt sich noch in Grenzen. Naja. So. Trotzdem eben einmal kurz anhalten. Landing Lights off. Master Warning Inhibit. Nose up to 5 degrees. Flight directors off. PFC master warning cancel. Yep. Flight control inverters off. SSB to close. RAM spellmaster switches to... Oops, the wrong panel. RAM spellmaster switches to manual. Parking brake release. So, runway is clear. Lass uns mal eben nach Gate 24. So, ey, ist da jetzt ein Auto durch mich durchgefahren? Das kann ja wohl nicht wahr sein. Gate 24 sollte zur Linken sein. Wir schauen dort einmal. 22. Ups. So. Machen wir noch ein bisschen After Start Checklist Inboard Engines. Shutdown. Ups. Das war 24. Well then. Parken wir's. Na, gucke mal, schau. Funktioniert doch. Parking brake set. So, Taxi Turn Lights off. Wir wollen ja keinen blenden hier. Inboard Engines. Auto Ignition. Auto Throttle off. Auto Ignition off. Oh, ADS and Standby Probe Heaters off. Drain Master Heaters off. Preservation Static Heaters off. Wing Anti-Ice is off. Preservation is checked. Secondary air doors auto shut lights off. That's correct. Engine control to flyover. Battery split switches to but on. Next thing we have to do is to Put the nose and the visor up again. Nose and visor, de-ice and demist off. Lights and transparencies are off. Emergency generator selector to on.